Hey guys, Monarch Synchro here, coming at you with not predictions, but my opinion on what the top five decks are gonna be for the next format. Yeah, so let's get started. I don't want to take too much time, but yeah, for my first pick, I believe this is gonna be the most played deck of the next format. It's gonna be Gladiator Beasts. They're coming back for sure. I mean, there's a lot of talk about Solon going to 2, Bestiari going to 2. So if those two cards come back, then GBs are going to be a force to be reckoned with. So definitely it's going to be like the top tier. Most run deck for sure next format. Um, Another deck that's coming close second is going to be Dimensional Yados. The deck is pretty good. The only reason it's not doing amazing this format is because obviously Lightsworn pretty much JD screws up everything. I mean, Necro Gardeners, you name it. Lightsworn's just too dominant this format, and it's hard for any deck to do good. But with Solemn maybe going to 2 almost for sure, most decks will have a chance. And I mean, Dimensional Autos is a amazing deck because of this card. I mean, not having any monsters in the graveyard, your opponent can't do anything. Blackwings, I mean, zombies, they get screwed up with this card a lot. So Dimensional Yados for sure is gonna be a top tier next format. Uh, Third, I believe, is gonna be Blackwings. Um, Regardless if Whirlwind gets hit or not, or even if Icarus goes down to 2 as well, or even if Gale might come back to 2, which I doubt. But if they can bring back Bestiara, they can bring back Gale. So I mean, Blackwings definitely will, like, with a much slower format. Blackwings have much of a have a better chance against Lightsworn matchup, because in my opinion, I've always said it, Blackwings have a hard time playing Lightsworn. Even with Armor Master, I mean, it's still hard because they got Celestia, they got Necros to save themselves from getting attacked. You name it, they have a lot of outs, so it's hard for Blackwings to keep up with them. But this is definitely gonna be top tier next format. Um, and then this is my personal pick. I don't think anybody's talking about it, but I'll explain why I think Monarchs are gonna be top tier next format, and they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Cause with though I was running Monarchs at the start of this format, and I was doing okay, but Blackwings, I always ran into Blackwings and I lost. Lightsworn I lost, GVs I lost most of the time, because those decks were too fast. I mean, it was hard to set up. With Marshmallow and stuff like that, those cards will always get destroyed, and you couldn't sack them for this. But with the new releases of cards in like Battle Fader, I mean, Monarchs are gonna be broken. Level Leader, I mean, that card is amazing in Monarchs as well. I mean, Level Leader gets around Oppression, so Monarch Oppression, I mean, that's gonna be a hot deck right there. Cause like you're gonna hardly special summon, and I mean, like I said, Level Leader gets around it because it's not a cost like value. So if your opponent activates Oppression to negate Level Leader, you can just keep activating the effect. I mean, your monster won't get its level reduced, so you can just keep using it. So your opponent can't do anything about it but let it go through. Then what are you gonna do? Level Leader, sack it for like a Ryza or another Caius, and remove the oppression that they set or a monster and attack for gain. I mean, like Monarchs with a much slower format, um, they're gonna be doing amazing unless obviously Konami decides to restrict this back to 2 and maybe rise it back to 1, but I seriously doubt that. But Battle Fader made it all possible because negating the direct attack and then just ending the battle phase, and then next turn just drop Kaya, sack the the Battle Fader is gonna be just hurting a lot of decks. And yeah, and another deck that I think is gonna do pretty good, because I've heard that E Teleport is gonna go back to 2, is um, Teledad. Teledad, in my opinion, is gonna be amazing next format because it's gonna be much slower. I mean, Lightsworn is not gonna be completely out, Lightsworn, but it's gonna be way slower, and that's gonna help out a lot for this deck. Cause with 2 emergency teleports, that allows you to run 2 Cravons and 1 Disc Commander. No, not Disc Commander. My bad. What's that card? That 3-star tuner. I can't remember what it is, but and then I mean, you're gonna be synchroing like crazy. So even you can even main oppressions and Teledad and still do good. Cause I mean, smart player will always try to synchro, get out there like powerful monsters, and then just set the oppression so your opponent can come back. But Teledad is definitely gonna be a good deck. It just depends on whether this goes back to 2 or not, because I mean they do need this card, and they can do pretty good. So yeah, guys, that's my predictions on the top tier decks that are gonna be next format. I mean, there could be more. I mean, Twilight might do something. Christia Sorn. I mean, there's still possibilities. Light Sworns are not completely dead. They're splashable in certain decks. I mean, you can still combine it with Twilight, and it's still gonna be doing amazing. Um, I mean, expect Light Sworn to be maining at least one burial. Because if you bottom as your JD, they're gonna and they're gonna just use burial to bring it back and then beckoning. So, and with burial, they can also abuse their plague and their Necrogarna. So I'm surprised um, Lightstorm didn't main it this format, but they didn't really need it. But next format, they will, because they can't afford to get their JD bottomless. And then what are they gonna do if they only have one beckoning? And of course they're gonna have one JD. So obviously they're gonna have to start main decking. Maybe go 2 Sarks, because obviously the format's gonna be slower, so that's gonna allow them to do that. And then with Burial probably to 1, they don't have to worry about their JD going to the graveyard, being sent to the graveyard with Burial. And yeah, Necrogarners are gonna be able to be abused in Lightsworn more, and their plague spreader too. So I mean, don't count Lightsworn out yet. They're still gonna be a force to be reckoned with, but not as much. But I see definitely GB's doing a lot more work, and obviously the thing that most people don't expect, but I'm sure they're gonna be top tier, is Monarchs. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of different variants. Probably PC Monarchs. I mean, level leader Monarchs. There's gonna be a lot of decks based around Kai's and Ryza, and maybe even Mobius. But yeah, guys, that's my predictions. Leave your comments, any suggestions. Maybe I didn't think of another deck that's gonna be pretty good next format, but it's really hard to like predict 100% what's gonna be top tier, because obviously we don't know what cards are on the ban list, what cards are gonna be semi restricted and all that jank. So, but yeah, I think my predictions are okay, you know. But yeah, leave comments, rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.